Hey guys, Happy New Year! I am so excited to be here for technically my first reading for 2021. Happy New Year to all. And it happens to be a super new moon in Capricorn. So this is a general reading for the collective. It is not based on signs, but it is date and time specific. So for the second or the third, depending on where you live in the world, it is all about this new moon in Capricorn, which is a super new moon. So I'm going to start with some astrology. I do have this time stamped. If you are not at all interested, you can pop ahead to the Oracle or to the Tarot. But this is where all the good juicy stuff is. So this super new moon in Capricorn happens to be super powerful for intention setting. It also calls on us to rise to the summit, right? Like the goat climbs the mountain. That's the archetype of Capricorn. To the summit of the mountain to where do we want to be at the year's end? When we get to the summit, what does that look like? Where do we want to be at the year's end? And I know it's kind of weird to start off the new year thinking about the end of the year, but that is also Capricorn. Capricorn begins with the end in mind. So what do you want to have and what do you want to achieve by this time next year? It can be in any realm of life. And if you're unsure of that, what do you want to feel? That is a super good place to start because manifesting is all about feeling. So with so much change behind us already from 2021, 2022 is no longer about the storm. The storm is done. It's behind us, thank gosh. But it is about the aftermath and how we rise up and respond to it. So it won't be like an easy peasy light and breezy year. There are no major planetary transits, so that's good. Nobody's clashing and exploding. But we will have our unique challenges, especially, in terms of humanity and globally, etc. But for our purposes here, it is about our emotional response to the aftermath of the storms we've left behind. Okay, so understand that Capricorn only needs to know the end game. So that's what we're doing here today. We're thinking about the end game. This is all about the what you desire and leaving the how up to the universe. So we're looking at what it is we want to achieve, what it is we want to feel, who it is we want to be, and the how. We're just going to normally I would tell you it's very important that you know the how, that you have the action steps and all that. This is not one of those new moons. I know, it's great. So what is it you desire? Leave the how up to the divine. That's important. Hold the vision of what it is you're creating for this new year ahead and trust that the universe has your back and will take care of the rest. And I know that sounds a little bizarre, but it's true in this case because you're kind of projecting out for the full year. It would even help for some of you that are, difficult to think that far ahead is to create 12 monthly intentions based on this new moon. There will be, each month has its own new moon. Because that will help you break it out into chunks. So we do have an interesting alignment with the planet Uranus as well. Uranus, the great awakener, is in the mix, harmonizing to the sun and the moon. So it's a nice geometry, very supportive. So we have the potential for miracles as well as sudden changes, plot twist, but for the better. And that's happening with this lunation. So Uranus is also a planet that knows no limits. Okay, so ask yourself, what intentions would you set if you had no restriction, if you had no limitation, right? If you had no inhibitions about it, what could you potentially manifest? What would you potentially manifest? So go with that and follow the feeling of what that makes you feel. Not even the sky is the limit with this new moon. That's the beauty of it and the power of it. So what are the feelings? What does that feeling bring up for you? Mercury is now in Aquarius. I'm giving you all the deets on this lunation and all the planets that are around. Mercury is in Aquarius, which is ruled by Uranus. So even Mercury is in on the game. Our conscious thoughts are getting in on the action. And since Mercury is also the mechanism by which we set intentions, in this case, the planets are truly aligned. Have you ever heard that saying? Oh, the planets are all aligned. In this case, it's actually true. So even though Venus is retrograde, that's working for us too, because it's our emotional body is sort of submerged and we're sort of pulled back unconsciously in an emotional way where it meets up with Pluto too. So we're more open. We're more open to exploring those depths in an unconscious way as all our attention is moving forward. So I like that. With the conscious and the unconscious energies all firing on aligned cylinders, as they say, you can set intentions to create what you need to serve in the way that only you are designed to offer. So I know I just kind of tripped over that. But it's basically trying to tell you that you have unique gifts and there's something you can bring forward into the world, whether it's your family, your relationship, your workplace, with your colleagues. You have something unique of value, a way that you can serve, which is the domain of Capricorn. One of the domains, I should say, of Capricorn. So set intentions to create what you need on an emotional level, on a mental level, on a physical level, on a spiritual level, so that you can bring that service forward in the only way that you can offer and no one else can. So it's a really beautiful energy. And then let your feelings rise up to the thought of that thing, what it is you need. And let your thoughts rise up to meet that as if it already exists in your experience. And that's really the power of manifestation, is the feeling that you already have it, or you've already achieved it, or you can see it from the mountaintop like the goat. And you get the lay of the land. You have a higher perspective and you know, oh, I'm going to take a left turn here. I'm going to take a right turn here. Oh, there's a Yui there. I got to get beyond. Do you see what I'm saying? Like the Capricornian archetype gives us all such a higher vantage point that we kind of can look over the coming months all the way to our goals down the road. So I hope that inspired on some level, that I didn't trip over the important parts. So now what I want to do is I want to tell you, I always like to say, well, find Capricorn in your chart. No. I'm going to save you the trouble. I'm going to tell you exactly what to look for. And this is what this particular lunation, this new moon in Capricorn, this is what it means for you. So I'm going to tell you your rising sign, so not your sun sign. Like, for example, I am a Virgo sun sign. I have Leo rising. It is the rising sign that begins the first house, and then we go around the zodiac wheel. So I'm going to go by rising sign here. So listen for your rising sign and tell you the house that will be impacted, where this Capricorn new moon will likely impact your life. Okay, and then you can Google that. So we have Aries. If you are an Aries rising, it's your 10th house, house of career and ambition. Perfect. If you are a Taurus rising, it is the 9th house that's being impacted. 9th house, wisdom, higher learning, spiritual expansion, travel to foreign lands. Yeah, it's good. Gemini, 8th house. If you've got Gemini rising, this is impacting your 8th house. That's some deep water there, Gemini. Google 8th house. This is what I'm talking about when I say the houses. Okay, you can even Google Gemini rising 8th house. You don't even have to put that. Just Google 8th house and then click on images. You'll get something like this and you'll find the 8th house. Right? Renewal, sex, death, and rebirth, right? Transformation. It's Scorpio's house. So Cancer rising, 7th house, that's relationships. Leo, sixth house. If you are a Leo rising, here I am, sixth house, which is work, service, daily routines, health. Virgo, if you are a Virgo rising, fifth house. That's the fun house, by the way. If you are a Libra rising, fourth house, that's family. If you are a Scorpio rising, third house, communication, siblings. If you are Sagittarius rising, it's your second house. That's your money, honey. That's what you value, your possessions, your self-worth, and all that stuff. If you are a Capricorn rising, first house, that's identity. And if you are Aquarius rising, this moon will impact your 12th house, deeply spiritual. And if you are a Pisces rising, it is 11th house. And that is friends, networks, social, and humanity, the realm of Uranus, right? Groups and such. So you can go click and find the image and the house that I just said in alignment with your rising sign to find out how this new moon, what area of life it will most likely impact. It's impacting all of us, maybe Capricorn suns a little bit more than the rest of us. But you can also use the house to help you set intentions if you're unclear as to where to begin. It's always good to kind of focus on the house that's being most impacted, to sort of give you a leg up, as they say. So that's the astrology. I know it was a lot. Here is the oracle. So I pulled from Moonology Manifestation. Interesting that the second card I pulled was the new moon in Capricorn, so that sort of seemed auspicious to me. Almost like I did a double take. I was like, oh, that's the moon. But we begin with the last quarter moon in Scorpio, which says, reveal what needs to be seen. And this is trying to tell us there may be an issue or a situation that isn't easy to air or speak about or reveal, and that's fine. Do not feel pressured to only reveal what needs to be seen is essentially what the card is saying. And alternately, don't overshare, right? Don't be codependent and overshare stuff. Some things are better kept to oneself. Now we have the new moon in Capricorn. It says, step up and lead. You are the boss of your life. This card tells you you're the boss of your life. Now is the time to step up on behalf of yourself. Take a lead in your own life. Don't be passive at all. Capricorn is not about that. There's no such thing as too big a goal when you get this card, but it does tell you, as I was saying earlier, break it down into smaller, more manageable chunks, right? Achievable pieces. And that's why I said begin with the end in mind and consider what you may need each month along the way to get there. So that way you can use this new moon to set smaller intentions for each of the next 12 months as well. It also asks you, where do you want to be in a year? And instructs you to write the 12-month plan. I just got done saying that. And then the third card out was the full moon in Leo, and it says, go wild. And I kind of like this. This is like, throw the proverbial cards in the air and see where they land. See how they fall out, right? Go a little bit wild with your intention setting. And the full moon is like where we're headed now. Now we're in the waxing cycle, and the moon is going to start to get bigger and bigger, becomes more illuminated till we get to the full moon, which is that, you know, that climax, that big moment where we go, oh my gosh, this thing is happening. It's happening. So we're building momentum now. So go wild with it. I like that. Go a little bit wild. Remember that having fun is also one of the most powerful ways to manifest. So don't leave fun out of the mix. Capricorn can be very serious and very severe and very austere. No. That's good, but find a way to make it fun. Think about building the fun into your intentions. So not just where you want to be in a year and what you want to feel, but make sure that the feeling is a little fun, a little wild, a little like full of joy. That's what Leo's all about. So I like the oracle. And now let's do a little bit of a reading around our connections. Again, it's general for the collective, so this is not sign specific. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you are enjoying this, I hope you will join us here by subscribing. Join the fun for the new year. And for those of you returning, you know how much I appreciate you and value you. You're why I'm here doing what I'm doing. Try to keep it positive and make it fun as well. But sometimes we've got serious topics. And I hope that I, can continue to serve as you navigate those dicier moments. Right? Okay, so here we go. In the extended, I will go Aries through Pisces. You know what I do. For those of you who are who've been here before, I go around the zodiac and do a mini reading for each sign, sun, moon, rising, Venus, so you can check on your planetary placements as well as those of the person you're thinking for or about. The Fool. Yeah, we're ready to take the leap. My goodness. And the Devil. Blocker challenge. And the Wheel. Wow. Six of Swords in the past. King of Pentacles crowning us here. This is the highest. And the Five of Swords. Nine of Swords underneath. So with the Five of Swords and the Nine of Swords, I'm kind of getting a feeling like there might be some intrusive thoughts. Things that kind of dog us in the middle of the night when we're trying to sleep, right? That Nine of Swords on the bottom there gives you that flavor. So I just want to kind of let you know that's normal. We're in a new year. We've come through a lot globally, as well as personally. So that makes sense. Let's look at the Fool and the Devil. The Devil again. Holy Hannah. Three of Cups and the Hierophant. I feel there is a challenge here. Guys, the challenge is falling back into old patterns and old ways. We're trying to take this leap forward. This is the energy we're showing up in. The Fool. We're trying to take a step in a new direction. We're trying to be optimistic, but remember what I said about where we are with this new moon. It's no longer about the storm. It's about the aftermath. And the Devil is part of that shadow, that ego, that part of us that sort of drags us. We fall back into comfort zones and to routine and to past patterns, because that's how the neural pathways operate, right? The brain goes where it's most familiar. And so I'm feeling as if the Devil here is coming up twice, because we're being told there's something that, is definitely difficult to release. The Devil tends to have a grip on us. Now, this can be a person, it can be a situation, it can be a pattern of any kind on any level. But because I'm seeing it here clarifying itself, and with the Three of Cups versus the Hierophant, feels like it's about commitment versus third-party energy, about operating from the highest version of ourselves. Because the Hierophant is underneath, it's almost as if it's struggling to rise up. Devil, Devil, Three of Cups. I know, I just made a song. I feel like we're trying to elevate. We're trying to take a leap in a new direction. We're trying to respond to our higher selves. And I feel like the challenge is we may continue to get sucked back in. So now that you know, it's something to be on the lookout for. That is Capricorn is here. We're getting a double dose of Capricorn for the Capricorn new moon. I'm feeling here that the Wheel underneath, it's part of what we're working out in our unconscious mind. Yes, choosing a new path, one that's more balanced, but there feels to me like There's something here we can't let go. And it's not that we can't, it's that we struggle. It's not that we can't, it's that we struggle. Our best intention is to operate from our higher selves and move forward. And it is possibly on the topic of commitment. I'll just say that. That's part of the realm of the Hierophant. But the devil twice with the Three of Cups, toxic, not healthy. And here's the Wheel and the Two of Wands with the King of Swords. You know, in our unconscious awareness, wanting this wheel to move us in a new direction, being open to where it's leading us. Really powerful, beautiful energy. That is Jupiter. That's Sagittarian energy, but it's also about the divine plan, things unfolding in divine time. And with the Two of Wands, it's about, well, there's a world of possibilities. I'm ready to move in a new direction. The question is, are we strong enough? Do we have our own heels dug in enough to overcome those patterns of the past? King of Swords with the Six of Pentacles underneath. I'm feeling like the King of Swords is here almost as a sense of calm, right? Because the King of Swords in its highest version, its highest vibration, is strategizing for the better, for higher ideals, aiming for, it's air energy, so high ideals and thoughts, and perceptions, honor, integrity, truth, things that we can sort of feel good about ourselves around. The King of Swords does care about their reputation and how they're seen. Now, it's not about, well, you got to care what people think. That's not what I'm talking about here. It's different. It's our own inner compass where integrity lives, right? It's not about what people think, but we do care about coming across the right way and making the choices and decisions and moving in directions that serve our highest good. That's what I was trying to get at. And underneath, how that brings about a sense of balance and reciprocity, equal give and take. What are you bringing to the party? Well, and what can you expect to receive? Nothing wrong with that. In the past, Six of Swords. So with the Six of Swords, something you've learned here in the past or what you've been through, wanting to get beyond all the drama, wanting to get beyond the chaos. Temperance, more Sagittarian energy. Yeah, manifesting. I feel as if you knew that it would take some time to get beyond everything. That Temperance and the Magician working in your favor here, because the goal, Ten of Cups, the goal is that emotional completion, that sense of nirvana, bliss, happily ever afters, and knowing on some level you had all the tools to work with, but that it would take time, that you had to sort of pull back and exercise self-control and restraint. You knew you would move to calmer waters in time, that you had what it takes to manifest it, and underneath, this is what's been floating around there in your unconscious energy, in your psyche, is I deserve this love. I deserve happiness. One way or the other, I'm going to get there. I'm going to get the peace of mind. And now what's crowning us here, right? The highest is coming from, this is the below, this is the highest, King of Pentacles. It's a masculine archetype of life partner. But also talks about our sovereignty, feeling comfortable in our own skin, being magnanimous and generous and kind. There's really good energy in the King of Pentacles. This is someone who shows up for you, so it could be us showing up for ourselves. Wow. King of Pentacles, King of Cups, Page of Wands, King of Wands. 3 kings here. Wow. And we have the 4th king down here. We've got all 4 kings. I really like the King of Cups on the King of Pentacles because it's bringing a safe place to land. The King of Cups often struggles with expressing their emotions. That's okay. Happens to all of us at times, but the King of Cups feels the feelings, feels them on a deep level, doesn't always have the ability to articulate them or to process them sometimes. So I like that the King of Pentacles is here. Like there's almost this blend of emotionality and emotional availability because this person now feels stable. Maybe that's what you're looking for, is life partnership with someone who can be emotionally available and offer you a sense of a safe haven as well. Then we have the Page of Wands and the King of Wands underneath. So we cannot leave out the passion here for sure. The King of Wands is someone who knows what they want. And I have a feeling the reason why it's underneath is because what you're looking at is a page. What you're kind of seeing is, well, I know what I want. I see what I'm getting here and what I'm really hoping for is someone that knows what they want and is prepared to claim it. And there may be something coming through that doesn't feel very good around that. Five of Swords, right? Sabotage in the past, maybe, and now there's healing around it. Ace of Swords, clarity coming in. Oh, yeah, you've waited for it, right? The seeds being planted. So imagine this is you setting intentions for the whole year to come. Seeds being planted as you know things will unfold organically. Five of Swords, healing from that. So the Five of Swords to me feels like it's all about maybe game playing, like Page of Wands energy can be self-serving and game playing and not taking things very seriously at times. Somebody that's not as invested as you are. I see you wanting some investment here in 3D and on an emotional level from someone who knows what they want instead of somebody that toys with it. And here that Five of Swords in the future, I feel like you're going to get clarity around it. You're going to see things very clearly, and it will bring in a lot of healing around the games being played. So there will be the games, but you'll recognize them. You'll see them immediately as you begin to heal. And also, as you set intentions for what you want, you'll be clear to say, yeah, that is not it. That may be why the devil is coming out. The games that may be played, the Five of Swords can be gaslighting too. We've got Three of Cups. So maybe, somebody is trying to convince you that there isn't a thing happening that you know is happening. You don't need that. That's not the aggravation that you deserve going into 2022. That storm is past. So I do see a bit of a challenge here around old patterns, toxicity, possibly karmic energy that you will be forced to deal with and contend with. Like I said, 2022 isn't just going to be easy breezy, lemon squeezy. It will present its own challenges. And we're dealing with the aftermath, though, not the storm. So the good part is the Five of Swords, if it presents itself, it will be seen for what it is. You will go like, oh, that's exactly what that is. And you'll have the opportunity to heal. You're healing that. You're healing the wounds left by the Five of Swords. And when they show up again, you see it instantly. You don't fall back into the same old patterns, but you are forced to kind of contend with it. Okay? So let me tell you who showed up. Aquarius, of course. Mercury's there. Capricorn, double dose. The moon and the sun are there. Okay. Hierophant is Taurus, thank gosh for some earth and grounding. The wheel is Sagittarius. King of Swords can be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Temperance is Sagittarius. The Magician is Virgo and Gemini. That's a card of Mercury. King of Pentacles can be Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. King of Cups can be Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. And the King of Wands can be Aries, Leo, Sag. We have the star is Aquarius as well. So now that you see this for this potential new moon, we're going to go to the extended. If this is resonating for you, the links below. I'm going around the zodiac, Aries through Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for you, for your divine counterpart. We're looking at what are the opportunities for you? What are the opportunities for you in this connection? What might be the block or challenge in this connection? And what's the potential outcome? So that's what we'll be looking at. Opportunities, block or challenge, potential outcome, and I'll, for those areas where it seems a little dicey, I'll get advice from the universe as well. Okay, so the link to that's below. I hope to see you there. Otherwise, Happy New Year. All the best to you. Go set those intentions. It's best to set them once the new moon has peaked. We're there. And as soon afterwards as possible. Much love. And I'll see you in a minute. Bye for now.